Assalamu alaikum, welcome everyone to CSS Maverick and to the video series of General Science and Ability for CSS examinations. In today's lecture, we will be discussing about what a solar system is, how it is being formed. We will be talking about the sun, birth of the sun, planets, and comets, asteroids, meteoroid. So let's talk about solar system in detail. Solar system is the part of the universe believed to be 4.5 billion years old and consisting of 9 planets, namely Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. The Sun, which occupies a central position in our solar system and holding together asteroids, meteors, and comets. It was formed from gas and dust around the Sun, which condensed into tiny bodies which built up the present-day planetary system. This planetary system performs two types of motion. Rotation at their axis, which is turning around as on an axis. For Earth, it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. The second type of motion is revolution or the orbital motion, which is along their orbits around the Sun. For Earth, it takes about 365 days to complete a single revolution. Now, as we have already said that the solar system is 4.5 billion years old. That's the age of our solar system. How this age is being calculated? To calculate the age of the solar system, scientists use radioactive clock, that is radiometric dating. We all know that meteoroids contain uranium rocks and they have a certain half-life. So by radiometric dating technique, many meteorites have been found to be 4.6 billion years old. From this, the age of the solar system is also estimated as roughly 4.6 billion years. Let us now talk about the formation of our solar system. How our solar system was born. Our solar system formed about 4.5 billion years ago from a dense cloud of interstellar gas and dust. The cloud collapsed possibly due to the shockwave of a nearby exploding star called a supernova. When this dust cloud collapsed, it formed a solar nebula, a spinning disk of material at the center. Gravity pulled more and more material in. Eventually, the pressure in the core was so great that hydrogen atoms began to combine and form helium, releasing a tremendous amount of energy. With that, our sun was born, and it eventually amassed more than 99% of the available matter. Matter farther out in the disk was also clumping together. These clumps smashed into one another, forming a larger and larger objects. Some of them grew big enough for their gravity to shape them into spheres, becoming planets, dwarf planets, and large moons. In other cases, planets did not form. The asteroid belt is made of bits of pieces of the early solar system that could never quite come together into a planet. Other smaller leftover pieces became asteroids, comets, meteoroids, and small irregular moons. The rocky planets like Earth formed near the Sun because we know icy and gaseous materials could not survive close to all that heat that the Sun produces. Gas and icy stuff collected further away, creating the gas and ice giants, while the solar system as we know it today was formed. Here you can see the pictorial representation of how our solar system came into being. It all started 4.6 billion years ago here at the starting point, and at the end, that is present, our solar system is shown. Now that we have enough information of our solar system, let's talk about the Sun, what it is. The Sun is actually 4.5 billion years old and it is classified as a yellow dwarf star. It is a hot glowing ball of hydrogen and helium at the center of our solar system that we have already discussed. Its outer surface temperature is about 6,000 degrees Celsius, and its rotation period is 25 days, 9 hours, and 7 minutes. The traveling speed of the sun's rays, that is the light that comes from sun to the earth, is 30,000 kilometers per second, and the time taken by the sun's rays to reach the earth's surface is about 499 seconds. It is about 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers from Earth, and it's our solar system's only star. We have talked about it, that why the sun, being a yellow dwarf star, looks so giant, because it is the only star and the nearest one to the Earth. That is why it looks so big. Without the sun's energy, life as we know it could not exist on our home planet. We all know about the food chain. We all know from where all the energy comes. We know that all the energy comes from the sun. It is being harvested by the photosynthetic organism, mainly the plants. After that, it's being taken by the herbivores and the omnivores, and the food chain continues. So the whole existence of our Earth depends upon the energy that is coming from the sun in the form of light. Light takes about 8 minutes to reach from sun. Sun is actually a star, and it has followed the same path of formation as of other stars. That path is being discussed in the next slide. Here you can see the path of formation of a star. It all starts from a nebula, which becomes dust of cloud, and after that it is being converted into a protostar. Protostar can then convert into a brown dwarf, or it can follow the path to become a red giant. Red giant has further fates ahead. It can either explode and become a supernova, or it can be converted into a white dwarf and ultimately becomes black dwarf. The supernova can then become a neutron star. It can become a black hole, or it can then become nebula and make another star. As discussed earlier, our solar system consists of the sun, planets, and asteroids, meteoroids, and other satellites and moons. So we have discussed solar system and the sun in detail. Now it's time to discuss about the planets. The most recent definition of a planet was adopted by the International Astronomical Union in 2006. And it says that a planet must do three things. What are those three things? It must orbit a star in our cosmic neighborhood, which is, of course, the sun. The second thing which a planet must do is it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape, which is here. So our Earth and other planets, that is Mars or Jupiter or Venus, they all are in spherical shape. The third and last thing is it must be big enough that its gravity cleared away any other object of a similar size near its orbit around the sun. Now let's talk about the types of planets in our solar system. Basically, there are three types of planets in our solar system. The first type are the terrestrial planets, which are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, the first four planets that revolves around the sun. The second type of planets in our solar system are gas giants, which are Jupiter and Saturn, while the third type of planets in our solar system are ice giants, namely Uranus and Neptune. Here you can see the pictorial representation of Sun and all the other planets that revolves around it, starting from Mercury and ending at the Neptune. Here we have included some facts about our solar system. These contain information about the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Homer, Mecmec, and Eris. Now let's talk about comets. Comets are cosmic snowballs of frozen gases. Here you can see one in the diagram, rock and dust that orbit the sun. When frozen, they are the size of a small town. But when a comet's orbit brings it close to the sun, it heats up and spews dust and gases into a giant glowing head larger than most planets. The dust and gases from a tail that stretches away from the sun for millions of miles. There are likely billions of comets orbiting our sun in the Kuiper belt and even more distant Oort cloud. The current number of non-comets is 3,884. Asteroids, sometimes called minor planets, are rocky airless remnants left over from the early formation of our solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. The current known asteroid count is almost 1.3 million, and the total mass of all the asteroids combined is less than that of Earth's moon. Meteoroids are objects in space that range in size from dust grains to small asteroids. You can think of them as space rocks. When these meteoroids enter the Earth's atmosphere or that of another planet like Mars, so at high speed and burn up, the fireballs or shooting stars are called meteors. When a meteoroid survives a trip through the atmosphere and hits the ground, it is called a meteorite. So I hope by now you understand the solar system. Thank you for staying with us and supporting us. Do subscribe our channel and help us grow. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.